सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे तु जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं दनुजवनकृशानुं ज्ञानिनामग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। नमः श्री तुलसीदास सद्वरिष्ठाय धीमते पूरितं हृदयं येन रामप्रेमामृतेन मे। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। हरि ओम, salutations to all. So, in the first verse we saw that how Hanumanji as a child he leapt towards the sun. So very interesting is this. Do you know what was Hanumanji's name before he got the name Hanuman? Maruti, Pavanputra, Anjaniputra. These are all names which we associate. What was he named actually? Sundar was his name. Sundar. And that is one of the reasons why Sundar Kand is there. Because every other Kand is connected only to the incidents. Bal Kand, incidents of childhood of Bhagwan Ram. Ayodhya Kand, whatever happened in Ayodhya Kand at that time. Then Aranya Kand, in forest what happened. Then Kishkindha Kand. Then Lanka Kand or Yuddha Kand. Then Uttar Kand. But this in between, the Sundar Kand is very weird name. Suddenly why it has become Sundar Kand? Because Sundar is the name of Hanumanji. So when he is born, his name is Sundar. And he is born to Anjana Mata and Kesari. So by the blessings of Shivji, so Hanumanji is called the 11th Maharudra avatar of Shivji. That's why that group was having the name Maharudra. Your name is what now? Still Maharudra only, right? No, what did you name? No. Your group name, the young people, your group name is what finally? You agreed Maharudra only, na? Even I thought so, it was Maharudra only. That's what I am saying. Maharudra is name of Hanumanji. He is the 11th avatar of Shivji. We have... अरे आपने बोल दिया महारुद्र, बस महारुद्र इज हनुमान जी, हो गया काम. My point is Hanuman ji is born to Anjana Devi, Mother Anjana and Kesari with the grace of Bhagwan Shiva. Anjana Mata has done a lot of tapasya of Lord Shiva, wanted a son. Shiva. Hare Rama. This series is terrific. Every time we say something, it goes on. So, she wanted a son like Shivji. And she prayed that I want a divine, virtuous, swift, fast, powerful son like you. Shivji said, there is nobody like me. My Amsha has to come. So, you stretch your hand and you will receive some blessing, and through that you will get a son. She is doing tapasya and Shivji got pleased, and she is on a mountain, Sumeru mountain. She is praying there. So there she quite holds her hand out. Bhagwan Shivji said, so she holds her hand out and Shivji disappears. Vayu Devta, he is Pavan Devta, he is blowing very fast at that point in time. And one eagle from Ayodhya swoops down in Ayodhya, takes one fruit from Kaikeyi's hand, flies and drops that in the hand of Anjana Mata. This is from Anand Ramayana. So she eats that, and then very soon, in some days, Sundar is born. Now once what happens, she goes for getting some food into the forest, and Sundar is left alone. So this all description is there. Now what I am saying, that description of Surya etc. is there in this Valmiki Ramayana in the Uttarkand. And so this mountain Sumeru, rendered golden by the virtue of a boon bestowed on it by sun god, where Hanumanji's father Kesari reigns. And Anjana is his beloved wife, and to them the Sundar has been born. Here the word Sundar is not there, but I am using the word Sundar here. And once what happened, she went for getting fruits, and Sundar is very hungry. He got up and he saw mother is not there, and he is very, very hungry, and he is not able to bear that hunger. So he starts crying. And then he sees that no, even for that crying there is no response, so mother is not around anywhere. And up he looks in the sky, and what does he see? There is a sun which is rising. And so that he thinks that the hue of a heap of japa flower, and with eager desire to get it, he thinking of it as a fruit, he sprang towards the sun. Now he is going towards the sun. Pavan Devta feels that, he is my son, so I must protect him, and there's cool air all around him. Even as he is approaching the sun, he is not feeling warm at all. There's cool air all around him, and he is going there. Surya Devta is thinking that, this is avatar of Shivji himself. I should not harm him. So he is not feeling any heat also. Now on that day was supposed to be the eclipse. It is a new moon day, and then eclipse is supposed to happen, solar eclipse is supposed to happen, and Rahu is supposed to, that is a story that we know from the Puranas, that Rahu eats the sun. So it is his right as though. So he is moving towards the sun to eat the sun. Hanumanji is moving from one side, and Hanumanji sees this Rahu, catches this Rahu, and he is anyway hungry. Hungry person is angry also. He caught hold of this Rahu and rattled him so much that all his bones, everything, he has only basically a head, Rahu. So he thinks that, this is also some fruit. He tries to catch him and crush him and all that, and Rahu is completely rattled. He runs from there, goes to Indra saying, look, I am supposed to devour the sun today, and this one monkey is leaping up there, and you have to do something. So this Indra comes with his Airavat there. Now looking at Airavat, Sundar, his attention is diverted, and this Rahu also is coming. Now suddenly he saw Rahu. Again he went towards Rahu and caught this fellow. Rahu again started crying for help, and Indra has come immediately to rescue him. The Airavat comes there. Now Sundar thinks that, this Airavat is more bigger, let me eat. So he leaps towards Airavat. The Rahu is left. He leaps towards Airavat, and Indra now can't deal with it, saying, "What, my God, he's going to come and attack me only." He took out his Vajra and attacked him. What happened? Naturally, he fell down. So Valmiki Ramayana doesn't mention that he actually ate the sun. He attempted to eat the sun, and in that process, Indra's Vajra hit him and he fell down. Now, when he fell down, then naturally Pavan Devata is very upset, and Pavan Devata feels very hurt that my son has been, injured so badly. He has fallen from such a great height. Here it is said, Patamanasya Chaitasya Vama Hanura Bhajyata. His left jaw and the chin broke. And so what happened? Immediately Vayu Devata gathered his son, took him into the cave, and he was very upset with Indra, and he said, I will stop air. Nowhere there is air, oxygen, wind, nothing. And people have become very stiff, their joints have frozen, they are not able to move, suffocating. All the beings are in deep agony. At that time, what happens? They all go to Brahmaji, Devatas and everybody go to Brahmaji saying, you are our creator and this is our situation, please help us. They say that you hurt him. You hurt Vayu Devata's son. Now he is angry, he is upset. So you have to appease him, you have to go. So along with Brahmaji, all of them go there to that cave and they please. So what happens there? So when they go there, all they are accompanied by Gandharvas, Rishis, Yakshas, even all the Rakshasas, many of them they go there. And when Brahmaji goes there, here in Valmiki Ramayana is written so clearly that Tata Pitamaham Drishtva Vayu Putra Vadharditaha. The son had been killed. Matlab Hanumanji died. As per Valmiki Ramayana, Sundar died actually. When he fell from that height, he died. So it is said here, wind god who was tormented by the death of his son. Vayuhu Putra Vadharditaha. Vadha is death, Arditaha is pained. So he stood in front of Brahmaji saying, look, this is what Devatas have done. My son is dead. Such a small innocent child, he was just going towards the sun and Indra took his Vajra. I mean, Vajra is the infallible weapon with which Vritrasura was killed. And that is used on my delicate child and he has been killed. See, Vajra is thunderbolt. Is more powerful than lightning and all that. Now that has been hit on a delicate small baby. So wind god is very upset saying, what is this? And he says, I am not going to blow. I am not going to do my duty. Nothing. Now I don't care what happens to the creation. So Brahmaji understood, consoled him, lifted the child, and the moment Brahmaji touched him, he came back to life like a crop which had been watered. That's the analogy given here. Jalasiktam yatha sasyam punarjivitam atmavan. Punarjivitam aptavan. He attained life again. So if you go by Valmiki Ramayana, actually Hanumanji has passed on and then again he came back to life. He was revived. And now Brahmaji tells all these devatas that you have all come, it is all because of you. You have to all atone for it, give him some boons and blessings. And so the name Hanuman was given by whom? Guess. Correct. Indra gave the name Hanuman. So it comes here. Mat karo thrishtav vrajena hanurasya yathahataha namna vai kapishardulo bhavita hanumaniti. So Indra gives the name. That Kapishardula. He is the best amongst the monkeys, and he names him as Hanuman. Why? Because he says, because of my Vajra, his chin has been broken. Inasmuch as the chin of this infant was broken by the thunderbolt loose from my hand, this tiger among the monkeys will surely go by the name Hanuman. So the Namkaran of Hanuman as Hanuman was done by Indra. And like that, now the boons will come now. So each one gives different boons. Surya Devta, he says that I bestow upon him 100th of my brilliance. And Surya Devta becomes his guru. So it is said here, when the ability to study the Shastras appears in him, I shall impart to him the knowledge of the Shastras, whereby he will become a very good speaker, and none shall vie with him in the knowledge of the Shastras. And Hanumanji learnt from Surya Devta. So if Surya is moving like this, Hanumanji has to face the Surya and learn. So Hanumanji has to walk backwards. In your ice breaking, I didn't see anybody doing that. Did you do? Or two of you did? Very good. But you did there only, little turn circle you must have done. You have to do properly nice walk backwards and learn. So he is facing the sun, walking backwards, and he learnt the entire Vedas. And do you know in how much time he learnt? Guess. All the Vedas, Shastras, Vedangas, everything he learnt. In how many hours? In a day? 60 hours. In 60 hours, entire Vedas, Shastras, Puranas, everything learnt by Hanumanji. So, Surya Devta gave him that boon that I will teach him. Then Varun Devta said that his death will not occur even in millions of years from the news of Varun Devta or from water. Then Yama said from his danda that he will have, Yama granted him invulnerability to his danda and freedom from ailment. Kubera gave him the boon that his mace, his gada, will not cause the death in conflicts, and he will not get exhausted or tired in war. He will have inexhaustible strength. Then Shivji says, this child shall be immune from death at my hands as well as from death caused by my weapons. Then Vishwakarma says, having acquired invulnerability to celestial weapons that have been forged by me, as well as to those which exist in my mind, he shall be long lived. Brahmaji gives him this boon that this infant shall be long lived and magnanimous and shall be invulnerable to all danda for punishment connected with Brahma and to any curse given by Brahmanas. Now all this, when it happens, it is also said that he will be very long lived and he will be the next Brahma also. That also comes. See here. Many things, many more boons come actually. So there will be, your son, O wind god, will prove to be the terror of his foes, will vouchsafe immunity from fear to his friends and will prove invincible. And this is a prediction that happens, that in the war he shall accomplish feats intended to uproot Ravana, pleasing to Sri Ram and causing one's hair to stand on end. And who says this? Brahmaji says this. Like this, many boons are given to him, and Hanumanji got all these boons. He was very powerful, but he was a small child. Vayu Devta became happy. He started doing his functions. People started breathing. They all are having a sigh of relief. All this happened. Now, this is the story, one part of this story. What is the symbolism here? we may think that what is this story, Swamiji? Hanuman leapt, and here it is said, Balasamay Ravi Bhakshiliyo. He ate the sun only. So how can a child consume the sun? What these rishis also, they are writing such things, unbelievable things. थोड़ा तो कुछ मतलब logic होना चाहिए. Child, and that also small baby and sun. So we think many times that these are all just simple stories. That's why that has been told to us that Ramayana is what? Mythology. Mythology. Why mythology? Because ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. How can a monkey? First of all, he's a monkey, and then he's going up and he's eating the sun. How is all this possible? So it's all mythology. Mythology means it never happened, or it is just some imagination of some people. But what is Ramayana called? That's why I'm reading from Valmiki Ramayana. Because Valmiki Ramayana is the Ramayana when Bhagwan Ram himself was there. Valmiki's contemporary is Bhagwan Ram. And he wrote. And in that, Bhagwan is depicted as a human. So, this is Ramayana and Mahabharata. What are they called? They are called Itihasa. Itihasa. It thus happened. It's not mythology. It is not some stories alone. We will see how all this is possible. But the rishis were very deep in their thinking. They are not people who are just hallucinating and writing something out of their will. One of the significances of 108, one of the significances is what? The distance between the earth and the sun is 108 suns. And the distance between earth and the moon is 108 moons. If even it is little less or more, life on earth will not happen only. So, rishis knew many of these things. These great rishis, what all they have discovered. In a passing statement, they write many scientific things in the scriptures. The purpose of the scripture is not science. Purpose of scripture is much deeper than science. If you read Mahabharata, he will speak about the connection of the moon. Vyasa Maharshi has written. If the moon comes closer to the earth, that time the waves rise, the tidal waves rise, and he gives description. And do you know, moon does not have the same distance around the earth. When it's orbiting the earth, it's not equidistant from the earth at all times. It actually has a different axis where some places it is closer, some places it is further. It is like that. And all these observations are just mentioned by passing in the scriptures. So these rishis, when they write something, it is not just like that written. Sometimes there are things which are factual, sometimes there are things which are mystical, sometimes there are spiritual, many different angles are there. Sometimes actually some poetry, analogies, so different things they use to write. So here when we say that Balasamay Ravi Bhakshaliyo, so what does that mean? So one very beautiful meaning is this: sun is the symbol of, in this context, a very high goal. And children, when they imagine, they don't have boundaries in their imagination. They don't have limitations. They don't think about so-called practicality all the time. They are unbounded in their flights of imagination. And Hanumanji in this context is a child. A child leaping towards the sun means a child has fantastic imagination. And child lives actually in the world of imagination. And for the child, the imagination, what the child keeps, is also many times real. And the stories through which we tell various things to the child actually absorbs and forms the value system and many things based on that. And so when it is told to a child that Hanumanji leapt, sun is a symbol of something which is so exalted, high. From childhood that seed is sown that you think big in life. What management leaders and experts, they teach now in schools and in colleges and personality development workshops and management programs. They tell, think big, think out of the box, all that. So from childhood, learn to think big. And anyway, if we don't limit the imagination of the child will actually think many things. If you ask a child, what do you want to be? A child doesn't have any limits. The child will say, I want to be astronaut, I want to be this, I want to be that. Depends on whatever input has been given. And that's why that input is very important. What input we give to the child. What the child is learning, absorbing, seeing in the behavior of people around. It will all absorb. And it will form its ideas. So one meaning is this, that one aspires to have high goals in life. Why should I have high goals in life? Why can't I just settle down with, majority actually does that only. We settle down with mediocrity or even below par. Chalta hai, it's all right, theek hai. Surviving, existing. Gurudev used to say, many exist, few live. To live, you must have an ideal. A single ideal can transform a listless soul into a towering leader of men. One inspiring ideal, which is a higher ideal. So our potential will manifest only then. We don't even know what is our potential unless we don't have a higher goal. Somewhere I read nicely that, tragedy of this world is what? That natural resources get depleted when we use them, but human resources get depleted because we don't use them. It applies in so many situations, even at the body level. What they say, use it or lose it. So many muscles of our body we don't know only. And very interesting thing, research I found some time back. Protein. Vegetarians are deficient in protein. Our food does not have enough protein, and that is one big argument people give for eating non-vegetarian. And even with all the vegetarian sources, we still have to take protein supplement, some powder, etc. Because otherwise you will not get enough quantity. If your weight is, let us say, 60 kilos, then you need minimum some 50 to 60 grams of protein per day. अब उतना नहीं मिलेगा by just the regular quantity of food that we eat. So we take protein powder and all. But do you know what is the biggest source of protein? A super research it is. Sun, milk, pulses, sprouts, peanuts. Our body, very interesting research that is. Our body is the biggest source of protein. If we have done enough strength training and exercise, the muscles and various other aspects of the body, they will release protein, and muscles are actually absorbers of sugar. So we may keep searching outside for protein source, all that. And yes, we may require that, no doubt. But our body will produce, it is the biggest source of producing protein. So if I'm actually doing exercise properly, then what will happen? I don't need that much from outside. My body also will be capable of producing. Including all this, B12, many of these, the body only will produce. So it's very amazing how our resources we don't use only. Physically also, emotionally, spiritually, financially, whatever, high goal one doesn't keep. One is scared. If I don't achieve, what will happen? My potential would have manifested much more than not having that high goal. Ordinary goal, if I achieve, and high goal I may not achieve, but I would have lifted myself much higher than the ordinary goal, no? That's why the tragedy is that people set low goals and achieve them. They don't set the high goals. And one is very complacent about that. See, one is contentment, one is complacency. If I set a high goal I will strive towards it. But if I set a very low goal and I think because I am contented, may not be, it may be complacency. You are not trying to push yourself out of comfort zone. So here it is. Hanumanji leaping towards the sun. One meaning is it's a high goal that one should achieve, one should aspire for. And that training should happen from childhood only. What all our children, as children, we have grown up learning from our grandparents, etc. These stories of Ramayana, Mahabharata, all these so fantastic things. And what are the nursery rhymes that we learn otherwise? All about some pathetic thing only. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Humpty Dumpty went on sat on a wall. Mark bichare gir gaye, and nobody could bring Humpty Dumpty together again. Jack and Jill went up the hill, fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down, broke his crown. Jill came tumbling after. मतलब सब गिरने वाले ही rhymes हैं सब. ये उड़ने वाले कोई नहीं है. That Hanuman leapt in the sky and he grasped the sun and this happened. These stories, great people, great kings, great achievers, great musicians, great devotees, great saints, great scientists. If those stories we tell the children, their aspiration will be what? I want to be like this. First 5 years, formative years. So much happens in that first 5 years. And today there are children who are talking on TED. There are children who are doing such reels on Instagram. Small children. Millions of followers they have. And they are giving life lessons. Have you seen? I don't know if you have seen. On Instagram there are fabulous. Such small kids. Giving you gyan on Gita also. About chanting also. About various aspects of parenting also. About what they go through in life and how you should treat children. So many things they are saying. Small children. Who would have even imagined? So, childhood, in that what is done, that will have a big impact. Swami ji, hamara to ho gaya, ab hum kya karenge? This can apply at any point in life. We will come to that also. So, one aspect is having a high purpose in life, a high goal in life, which will, higher the goal, Gurudev always said, greater is the inspiration. And so if I want to live an inspired life, see they are hungry, Hanumanji is hungry, no? So what is that hunger symbolic of? Do I have hunger to rise in life, to achieve something in life? It may be personal for a certain period of time, but the more impersonal it is, the more inspiration it will bring. Initially, one wants to achieve something for oneself and prove one's mettle and achieve some success, get some name, fame, position, appreciation. And our culture doesn't say that don't aim for any of that. It actually says in the convocation address in Taittiriya Upanishad, the Rishi tells all the students who are graduating, Kushalat na pramaditavyam, bhutyai na pramaditavyam. Don't postpone your prosperity, don't postpone your success. Strive for all that. But don't think that is all the be and end all of life. Culture, values, dance, society, ancestors, many of these things are told in that convocation address. And so one can strive, no doubt. What inspiration one will have, like today, right now, Olympics are going on. Some people may do things for themselves, for records to get more fame, etc. And some people genuinely do for country. My nation I have to make proud. Sacrifice, do whatever is required for it. Work hard. So the feeling behind. The more one lives like that for the country, for a higher purpose, personal goals also will get achieved. That's the beauty of the higher goal. The higher goal does not mean that personal goals have to be dropped completely. They will also get achieved on the way, but one is not stuck with only that. One is having a higher purpose, a bigger purpose in mind. Neeraj Chopra, if you see his life, what was he 10 years ago or even 12 years ago? Look at his life and look at his transformation. Unbelievable. One will not believe that this boy was like this when he was 12, 13 years old. Fitness का कोई नामो निशान नहीं है उनके life में. And what a transformation. So when one gets inspired like that, so one has to ask, what is the inspiration in my life? What am I inspired by? What do I look forward to? What is the higher thing that I want to achieve? And that can keep changing also by time, as per age, whatever things can change. But that hunger has to be there. As we grow in life, our hunger has to increase. Sun there is a symbol of, Gurudev always said, keep the goal the highest. So high that you will never reach. Why? Because his beautiful line is, reaching the goal is not the goal. Striving to reach there is the goal. Meaning, you will go on striving. You will still achieve. From where I am to a higher level I would have come. From there I will still go high and keep striving. What is the ultimate highest goal? Self-realization. Now if I have self-realization as my goal, sun represents that. Self-realization. And so this leap of Hanumanji towards the sun is the symbol of the seeker's burning desire for liberation, hunger to know the truth. And in that process, there will be certain things which will be helpful also. Like Pavan Devta guarded Hanumanji, Surya Devta did not burn him, all that. So there will be positive forces which will help us, aid us in sadhana, come to our support, all that. And then there will also be what? Obstacles that will come. Rahu is the symbol of tamoguna. Laziness, lethargy, ignorance, indulgence, carelessness, procrastination. Tamoguna is a big enemy of a seeker actually. Rajoguna is more easier to handle because we know when we are in Rajas. But in Tamas, when we don't know only we are in Tamas. And Tamas makes us postpone. One feels, chalo, jayenge, sadhana karenge, aaj nahi kal. Immediate, postpone. Not now, I am young, later on. Last few years of my life I can do. So tamas will make me do that, procrastinate. Rahu is symbolic of tamoguna. Airavat is symbolic of rajoguna. Power, position, name, fame, glory, attachment, dependency, insistence, greed, all these combined. Rajoguna also is one obstacle. And then Indra represents what? Sattva guna. Indra is the king of devatas. So as the seeker progresses, there will be siddhis, powers, various things that come on the way. A seeker has to overcome all these and attain the truth. Here, as Tulsidas says, he actually ate. He reached. Hanumanji's life, actually, if you see, there is no project that he has taken up in which he has failed. He has been successful in everything. So, as per this, Hanumanji leapt and he took the sun. Consumed. So, he reached his goal. He served Sugriv also, he gave his best. So, that's another quality of Hanumanji. And the sun and the example of Hanumanji leaping is one who strives towards the best at all times, who does not compromise. One keeps asking, is this the best? Can I improve? Can I do better? And keeps working on that. Hanumanji served Sugriv to the best of his abilities. Then when he met Bhagwan Ram, his abilities manifested much more. With that he served Bhagwan Ram. He didn't hold back. Whatever at that point in time was the best that he had, he gave. So, a spiritual seeker is like that. And Atmagnan, Brahmagnan, self-realization, God realization, whatever we call it, sun represents that. And Hanumanji is the sadhak who is reaching there. So that is one meaning of this. Bal samay ravi bhakshi liyo, tinahu loka bhayo andhiyaro. Now, when he ate the sun. Now, one more point before I go to that. This country of ours has produced such great saints who have been young, children, great sadhus, devotees, even sannyasis. And yet, in this country, we have come to that false notion that when is the good time to apply spirituality? Do you know, today, it is so strange. Gurudev started 2 Chinmaya nurseries in Mumbai, and the purpose was this, to give spiritual education right from the childhood. And it's not that only spirituality is taught there, everything else also is taught, but spirituality is a major ingredient in that, because that will help the child to get a solid grounding, a great foundation and all that. So we celebrate festivals, we chant shlokas, we teach the children, we do some rituals also, and along with that all the other motor skills and A to Z and whatever that alphabets and numbers and whatever other skills have to be taught, all are taught. But we are in such a situation that our one nursery had to stop. One of the reasons was what? Parents come and say, no, we don't want our child to learn anything about religion. Because this stupid notion has been fed into the Hindu mind that religion is bad. Religion leads to violence. Religion creates division. Religion is unscientific. Religion is the cause for lot of war and violence. And we have bought it. Buddhists have no problem with their religion to impart their values to their children. Jains don't have a problem. Islamists don't have a problem. Christians don't have a problem. None of them have a problem. Who has a problem? Confused, deluded Hindus. We only have a problem. Because this somehow that depiction has come through various things, through education, through media, through various other things, then we have been told this. If we actually go by this logic, child should not even learn science. Why? Who has created nuclear weapons? Science has created weapons of destruction. Then why should the child be learning science? Child should not learn economics also. Why? Because a lot of war is happening because of money, economics. This perverted logic applies only to religion. And what are the benefits of it and how inspiring it is, that one doesn't want to see. So one nursery we shut down. Another nursery we have reopened now after 8 years. That was also verge of shutting down. Luckily Swamiji said, no, we will not shut it. In fact, we will expand it. So we took the place nearby, added it, increased the area, and now we have restarted it. 2 children are there as of now. Admissions have happened. 2 are there right now. I am saying this also because you please spread the word. It's in Worli. And Chinmaya Nursery in Worli. From childhood, we have to give this knowledge to children. If we want a revival of our culture, if we want the world to be a better place, our culture has given the ideals of peace, brilliance, happiness, striving high, keeping the mind out of your ego and thinking about the greater good. All that is what our culture says. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, we say. All paths will lead to the same truth, we say. Why should we be ever ashamed of our religion, and why should we not teach our children that? We should be proudly teaching our children that you belong to this glorious culture, which has accommodated everybody in this great country, and we are secular by nature. Look at what is happening in our neighborhood now. What is happening to the Hindus? People are openly calling for genocide of the Hindus in Bangladesh right now. How many times the genocide of Hindus has happened in this country itself? Kashmir, how many times it has happened? Down south, how many times it has happened? West, it has happened. East, it has happened. Even continuously in Bengal, it is happening or not. But in spite of all that, the Hindu still lives only for I, me and mine. Nahi, mujhe aur kuch nahi karna hai. My child should just study and focus only on his, this scientific education and all that. Go abroad, stay there and live a life. What is happening abroad today? Look at the situations in various other countries. The whole world is in such a turmoil. And if we are asleep, it's just a matter of little more time, we will have the same crisis that is happening to our neighbors. And which has already happened to our country in many states. This, if it is understood by the parents, it is high time actually that all our present generation, the children are given this knowledge. It's such a lovely thing. If they know Hanumanji, I am telling you, we attempted in one of the schools in South Bombay, we were teaching life skills. Under life skills, our Balvihar curriculum, we were teaching Ramayana 1 year, Bhagavatam 1 year, A to Z alphabets 1 year, Hanuman Chalisa 1 year. For every, third standard Ramayana, let us say, I'm just giving example, fourth standard Bhagavatam, fifth standard, this Hanuman Chalisa, first standard A to Z values. That school told us, don't keep the picture of Hanumanji, don't chant Hanuman Chalisa, just tell stories which are Panchatantra stories. We don't want religion to come into place. We said, sorry, we can't do that. Panchatantra stories you want to teach, you can get anybody to teach. Chinmaya Mission's competency is passing on the culture. And we will not do that with compromise. Why should I not put Hanumanji's picture there? Hanuman is a symbol of strength, of glory. And today picture is required in the mind. No? Every advertiser is using a picture to push it into our head, their product. One picture and one caption. No? That does it for all. That goes inside and rattles our brain and we need to buy that product. Ye dil mange more. How much time one goes on? What is that? Pepsi ka hai na? Coke ka hai kya? Open happiness. That was some time back. Now I don't know what it is. You are drinking concentrated dose of sugar and acid or whatever, but open happiness. Now that goes in. No? Now Hanumanji's picture, if it is there, such muscular body, this, that. Samarth Ramdas ji actually in the Vyayam Mandir, in Samarth Ramdas ji, whatever he set up, he has put up what? Hanumanji's picture. So the point is, if those things we have to compromise, then what will we tell? Just stories of animals. That also they will say, no, why are you portraying fox as a sly animal? This is not correct. This is stereotyping of a fox. Fox is not a sly animal. You can't talk. अरे बोल ही नहीं सकता कुछ का आज के जमाने में. कुछ भी बोलो, some fellow gets offended. Then how can you do education? So, Bal Samay Ravi Bhakshiliyo, childhood, one has to do. And that's why Bal Vihar, Shishu Vihar, maximum we have to focus on that. Impart this knowledge to the children. If any transformation we can bring about in the world, that will happen only through children. By the age of 9, the value system is more or less fixed. Ho gaya wo. Then only some cosmetic changes can happen. So Tulsidas ji beautifully says, Bal Samay Ravi Bhakshiliyo. If the child grasps this, so when we say sun is the symbol of even Adhyatmic Jnana, Hanumanji consuming it means what? Give this knowledge to the child. Let the child consume in the childhood only. And hard facts of life also the child will learn through our Puranic stories. Is there not violence? Is there not greed? Is there not backstabbing? All that is there in the stories. It's not some fairy tale. It is talking. If you teach these values of this, our stories of Mahabharata, Ramayana, Purana, Itihasa, all that, they will all learn so many things which are the life skills to face the challenges in the world. And so, consume spiritual knowledge right in the beginning. Somebody asked Gurudev, what is the right time to start spiritual education? And Gurudev's reply was, before birth. Fabulous is the reply. His reply was before birth. So today we have started what? Garbha Samskar also. Shishu Vihar we started. Bal Vihar was the youngest wing till when Gurudev was there. But his vision only we carry forward. Shishu Vihar we started. And now Garbha Samskar also. The parent, when the mother is pregnant, how the parent, both the father and mother should be, what kind of spiritual samskars they should have, what kind of thinking, what kind of literature they should read, what kind of sadhana they should do, what kind of food they should eat. All beautifully, one course has come out, Garbha Samskar also. So all that, so right from conception onwards to Antyeshti, our culture has Shodash Samskars. That and all the age groups from prenatal to Vanaprastha and including Sannyas. Chinmaya Mission has everything for that age group, each age group, customized for that age group. So, Bala Samay Ravi Bhakshiliyo means that. Now, when Hanumanji consumed the sun, what happened? There is darkness everywhere. So, one deeper meaning of this analogy is what? He consumed the sun, mistaking it to be a fruit. So, if we go Vedantic thinking wise, then when I don't know who am I, then I mistake myself to be the BMI. That ignorance of the truth, that is the darkness given here. Tinahu loka bhayo andhiyaro. So body, mind and intellect we identify with, then we live like a jiva, and then no matter what we achieve in the world, we still feel empty. We still feel hollow. We still feel fulfillment is not there. That is the darkness. And so we want to become complete by getting something more, becoming something else, going somewhere else. By itself, nothing wrong with doing any of that. Go wherever you want to go, eat whatever you want to eat, travel, explore, achieve, get money, power, anything. But if I feel that through this I will become fulfilled, that is not going to happen. Why? Because the cause of this thing is not outside. The cause is I don't know who am I. I don't know my nature. I don't know that Paripurnata is my nature. Paramananda is my nature. And I'm just running behind things out there. So that will never happen. And that's why here he says, Tinahu loka bhayo andhiyaro. This analogy about Vedant, in this analogy of Hanumanji, we should limit Vedant only to this much. That mistaking the sun to be a fruit, he leapt towards it, trying to consume it. And in this he says he consumed it. So there's a darkness everywhere. So sun there is symbol of Atma, the self. I don't know the self. And when I don't know the self, then I'm mistaking myself, then there is darkness. That is a real ignorance. That is a darkness. Literally there may not be darkness in that sense. In the example there, when you take away the sun, there is actual physical darkness. In our life, there is no physical darkness that way. But there is a darkness of ignorance. I don't know who am I. And which is the subtlest thing, because when I don't know who am I am very sure I am the BMI. And so first time if you listen to Vedanta and in the Vedanta class it is said, you are not this. What will you think? This man has gone cuckoo in the head. What is Vedanta? What is he saying? I am not this. Then who am I? Full life we have been taught this only, no? That you are this, you are Mr. So and so, you have to achieve things in life. You are what your thoughts are, your actions, your achievements define you, your, all that status and everything. We are fed like that. But what does Vedanta say? I don't know only who am I. And that's why to that person, the Upanishad says, Uttisthata, Jagrata, Prapya Varan, Nibodhata. Arise, awake, and then? Correct. Arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached is said by whom? Swami Vivekananda's quote it is. Arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. No doubt. But this mantra of Kathopanishad has a little different meaning. Uttisthata Jagrata, meaning arise, awake. Prapya Varan, having attained the teachers. Nibodhata, learn the truth. So arise, awake, go to the teachers, learn the truth. That's the meaning of that mantra. And it is said to a person who is already awake. No, it is not said to somebody who is sleeping. Are utho. To somebody who is awake, the teacher is saying, arise. Meaning put efforts. For what? To awaken. I have to awaken myself. That is the goal. And that's why that sun represents that highest goal, that I need to know the truth. I don't know the truth. All confusion is happening because I don't know the truth. And that is creating all darkness. So that darkness can go only by light. So the sun represents that light knowledge which today is eclipsed. Hanumanji ate it. In our case, what it is? Eclipsed. Not aware. Till we come to Vedanta or any such satsang, we don't even know that this possibility is there in human life. That I can come to realize the truth. Education is supposed to be giving us that. Vivekananda's definition of education is so nice. He says, education is manifesting the divinity already inherent in man. That's the job of education. To manifest the divinity already inherent in the man, in the human being. But if that has been removed, then education becomes all about how much package you will get. Swamiji, this person got 50 lakh ka package, that person got 1 crore ka package, this person got a placement in that particular company as this particular role, which is okay in one level of life, but beyond that, nothing. Empty. After a point, it will become empty. Nothing. I don't know only who I am. So, when he says this, Bala Samay Ravi Bhakshiliyo, the biggest goal is to know the truth. And that's the only goal actually we have come here for. Until we don't achieve that goal, what is going to happen? Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. Again and again one has to come back. Looking at the world today, how it is, if we actually dispassionately look at the world today as what it is, do you have a desire to come back to this world? Swamiji, I have not gone to USA, I have not gone to Middle East, I have not gone to Australia. I really want to come back. Arey, those things only will not exist. In what state they will exist, we don't know. And what kind of things are there in this world, what kind of people, what kind of heartlessness, and in that I want to come back. Very good, please come back. Spiritual seeker analyzes and says, nahi, bas ho gaya. Dukhalayam Ashashvatam, Bhagavan said. Who said this Dukhalayam Ashashvatam? Krishna Bhagavan. Who is he? Supreme Lord, who is the creator. Creator said, I have created this as an abode of sorrow and impermanence. We are saying, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. हमको पता है. बहुत आनंद है इधर. Gujarati, that's why you ask them, Kem cho, what they will say? Maja ma. Full time maja. We want to come like that. What is the problem? आएंगे बार बार. अलग अलग जन्म लेंगे. हाँ? Exactly. There is no guarantee. There are people who say that once a human, always human. कौन से आधार पर आप बोल रहे हैं? Great rishis and scriptures, they have not said, and enough stories and examples are there of people who have not been born human. Even great seekers like Bharat Raja. Did you do your homework? Homework मैंने दिया था ना. स्वामी जी homework था क्या? Jambudvip is the whole, not Hindustan. Aryavarta, no. Okay, at least tell me the name of the king. I mean the background of the King Bharat. Who was he? वो तो बता दो. I rejected already saying it is not Shakuntala and Dushyant's son. It is not. Indraprastha is the place of the Pandavas, Baba. Not the whole country. Indraprastha is the Pandavas created that capital. No, Indraprastha is not Delhi. Hastinapur. Indraprastha is little down. Yeah, no, I agree. She came late. She doesn't know. They came little late. The question is, what was the name of Bharat before it got the name Bharat? And who is this King Bharat behind whom the country is named Bharat? That's the question. No, it's not Shakuntala's son. क्या? Hindu. Now, that is a different point where one says that, okay, the Persians came from across the river and they can't pronounce Sindhu, they called it Hindu and all that. But that is all. I am talking what was the name before Bharat. Bharat has been there for millenniums, the name. The Persians and all came much later. चलो एक और दिन दे दूंगा मैं, चलो करो. No. Bharat Raja was born in the clan only. He adopted. Anyway, we will come. I mean, you do some more research. We will come to that. What was my point? Why did I come back to this? Not the homework, but why did I come to homework? Because of rebirth. So we said that on what basis are we saying that once a human, always a human? हाँ बोलो. Digvijay. I of course know the answer. Without knowing the answer, why will I ask? I have full proof, complete proof. आप कहाँ पे रिसर्च कर रहे हैं? आप अगर चैट जीपीटी को पूछोगे, उसको जो फीड किया गया है उतना ही वो बाहर दे सकता है. Aryavarta is, you can call any country Aryavarta because that's a country of gentlemen. If any country is a decent country of gentlemen, that's called Aryavarta. Our country was not called Aryavarta. Correct. Anyway, do the research. My point is, till we don't realize Brahman, till we don't realize absolute truth, sun for us is the symbol of the highest goal. And every single day when we chant Gayatri Mantra, what are we telling ourselves? May that sun who is the Ishvara, who is the Supreme Lord, who is the Supreme Brahman, may it illumine all our intellects so that we realize that truth in our heart. And it's such a universal prayer. I'm telling you now, the more we learn about our culture, is such a fantastic, inclusive, diverse, accommodative, pluralistic culture. But we don't know about it, so we look down upon it. Every single day when a person is chanting Gayatri Mantra, that person is praying for the well-being of the whole universe. Dhiyo yo naha prachodayat. May all our intellects be illumined. He's not saying, may my intellect be illumined, I will become successful, baki jaye bhaad mein. It is saying win-win philosophy. With me, may everybody progress, prosper, achieve success. We will all rise together. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. So many. Mitrasya chakshusha sarvani bhutani samikshantam. Friendship Day went some time back. What was that? 4th August. First Sunday of this August. Last Sunday. Friendship Day. So, our culture has been looking at everybody as friends. To that extent that invaders को भी हमने सर के ऊपर चढ़ा के रखा, उनके नाम दे दिए सब जगह पे. Such a beautiful culture. So, this is the goal. बाल समय रवि भक्षी लियो तब तीनहु लोक भयो अंधियारो. Now, when this whole world became plunged in darkness, then all these devatas, they came. And who will help us to get out of this? So they came to Hanumanji. In the story in Valmiki Ramayana, we see that Brahmaji and all the devatas came to Pavan Devata, and then they brought Hanumanji back to life. But in this context, we see that because Hanumanji has consumed the sun, they go and pray to Hanumanji saying, please, Binati Kari. Devatas live in one kick. We are Devatas. We are powerful beings. And Jivas who have become meritorious, done punya, etc., they become Devatas. They go to heaven, they enjoy pleasures there, and those Devatas suddenly realized that, "Arey, what is this? What have we done?" And they come seek with humility. They pray to Hanumanji, "Please, you help us to get out of this trouble." And so, as a spiritual seeker, what is required? Humility is very important. And divine qualities are also very important. In the 16th chapter, Bhagavan gives so many divine qualities. Abhayam sattva samshuddhi jnana yoga vyavasthiti danam damascha yajnascha swadhyaya stapa arjavam. You know, Akhandanandji used to say, if you want to study the Gita, you should study 16th chapter first. Because in the 16th chapter, you have the description of divine qualities and the demonic qualities also. And once you study 16th chapter, he would say, then you study the first chapter of the Gita, then you will see the three characters, Arjun, Duryodhan and Dhritarashtra, and how they depict, Arjun depicts the divine qualities and how Duryodhan and Dhritarashtra depict the demonic qualities. So divine qualities. If I want realization of the truth, values, dharma, most important. Without that, it will never happen. If somebody says that I can do anything anyhow and I will get Brahmagyan because anywhere is all illusion, it will never happen. Why? Because I have no control over my mind, my impulsiveness, my senses, my body. How will I ever realize the truth? Because they are pulling me to do compromise in my actions. And so, Devan ani kari binati tab chhadi diyo rabi kashta nivaro. Then Hanumanji left the sun. Even though Indra attacked him, Vayu Devta, Rahu attacked him, all that, out of compassion he still left. And then what happened? World was again fine. So, ko nahi janat hai jag mein kapi sankat mochan namatiharu. Last point is beautiful. Somebody says, how can Hanumanji swallow the sun? Impossible it is. So tell me, is effect greater or cause greater? Pakka. Now there is division. Some people are saying effect, some people are saying cause. Pot is greater, mud is greater. Why? Perfect. So pot can be without mud, mud can be without pot. Effect can not be without the cause, cause can be without effects. Effects are nothing but cause in another form, right? So, Vayu is Hanumanji. Vayu Putra he is. And if you see in the sequence of creation, how the creation happens, first element that is created is space. Then comes air. From air comes fire. From fire comes water. Water comes earth. Space, air, fire, water, earth. This is the sequence. So the effect is always grosser and it goes into the cause. Comes out of the cause, goes into the cause. So Hanumanji is who? Air. Fire comes out of air. Can there be fire without oxygen? Can there be fire without this air? So fire comes from air. Fire can go back into air. So can Hanumanji swallow the sun or not? Going by the law of cause and effect, the effect is grosser, cause is subtler. Air is subtler, fire is grosser. So he can eat the sun. Nothing will happen to him. Don't go by, his mouth will be burnt and this and that. We are talking at a different level of 5 elements and cause and effect here. And so, once we understand this, what is the first obstacle the ultimate obstacle that a human being has is ignorance. We saw in the morning, Mala, Vikshep and Avarana. Avarana has to be removed. This is the journey towards that. Journey towards knowing one's own truth. And that sun has always been connected to Atma. In the Taittiriya Upanishad and all the different Upanishads, it is said, Yosavaditya Parama Purusha, so aham asmi. That Aditya who is a supreme Purusha, that alone I am. Meaning, that infinite consciousness manifesting through that sun is the consciousness enlivening this BMI also. And I am that consciousness. I am not this BMI. So, if one has that clarity in mind, that my goal is to know who am I truly, and that is the permanent cure for this sorrow of samsara. Samsara and sorrow, they are called synonyms. We should remember that. In Hindi we call paryayvachi shabda. What is paryayvachi of samsar? Dukha. Samsar mein dukh nahi hai, samsar hi dukh hai. First class morning, what did we say? You don't have a problem, you are problem. Now, world does not have sorrow. World is sorrow. That's what I am telling Swamiji. My mother-in-law is sorrow, my boss is sorrow. They all are causes of sorrow. Don't blame people. Morning we did this, na? Who is this? This is a victim. Goes on blaming. Who is this? This is a victor. I am responsible. So I need to get out of my attachments. Yeah. So we will do what I am suggesting. Right now we will stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.